Hello everyone, we'll be starting soon. Can anyone hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I'm hearing you from my end.
Okay, awesome. Good afternoon. We're just waiting for more people to join in today's meeting and then we will begin.
Okay.
Yeah. Ana ga magana da rike bakin nan wannan na fara. Ah, Jeremy, give me some. Ana kan jangaman.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. How are we doing today? How are you guys doing?
Good afternoon. I'm doing great though from my end.
All right, awesome. Thank you for sharing, Matthew. How's everyone else doing? You could type in the chat. Fine, not fine. Okay, great. Mohammed says great. Happy International Women's Day. I don't know if we have any women in the house right now, but to everyone, I would like to wish you good afternoon. I'd like to wish you a happy International Women's Day. Our speaker, Mr. Paul Uda, would be joining in very shortly. As you can see, his picture is displayed on the screen. Let me just confirm you can all see my screen. Can we all see my screen? You could type yes.
Yes.
Yes, okay, awesome. All right, so our speaker today is going to be Mr. Paul Uda, and he's going to be training us on something I know a lot of people have been waiting for actually, because when we had sent out the links for people to apply to be part of this program, this 8-week program, something that a lot of people mentioned that they would like to be part of was the leadership part of today's training. And Mr. Uda is going to be training us on leadership development, building confidence, and strategic thinking for impact. So, as we wait for more people to join us today, because our numbers are a bit low, and as we also wait for Mr. Uda to join in, I will just read his profile. So Paul Uda is a Rwandan-based Nigerian leadership educator, consultant, impact-driven project manager, speaker, and author. He is the host of the Leadership Masterclass LMC, a workshop that is geared towards raising and equipping the young towards excellent leadership by means of trainings, amongst others. He is the convener of the Young Leaders Summit, a convergence of young leaders and aspiring leaders from diverse walks of life to enhance the raising of young, balanced leaders for the betterment of society and the nation at large. He studied human resource management and project management at Taraba Business School. He also has certification in leadership from the prestigious More Leadership Academy and the Guardian of the Nation International Leadership Center and the African Leadership University, which are Africa's leading leadership institutions. He is the CEO of Paul Uda Leadership Firm, an organization that has focused on raising a breed of balanced leaders who are spiritual excellence and principled for societal betterment. He is also a member of the highly reputable Forbes Black Excellence Society. He is a phenomenal author of the book titled You, The Starting Point to Global Leadership, a book that has pulled the attention of young people and brands towards self-discovery, development, and impact, news for true visibility. He is a God-fearing, people-driven, and passionate young man. He promotes self-leadership and organizational leadership. With what he does, he has helped individuals and organizations to attain desired results. This truly is a young leader who walks his talk. His purpose is to aid the raising of young, balanced leaders to attain success in leadership, and he has been consistent at this. He's a multiple award-winning thought leader, and by reason of what he does in the past years, has been able to impact the lives of innumerable youth in Nigeria, Ghana, Canada, and beyond. Everyone, I would like to welcome Mr. Paul Uda, who is going to be leading us today. I see he's currently online. So, Mr. Uda, the floor is open to you. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I sincerely want to say thank you to the leadership. I want to say thank you so much to the leadership of the College Guide Africa. Thank you so much, Fiolami, for the privilege of having been invited to share a few words with us. I celebrate everybody who is online. Tot Yak Chu, that sounds like South Sudanese. I don't know, but that sounds like it. Astine Ochieng, and I mean every other person is on the call. This is me saying hi. This is me saying thank you. So I have quite a very rigid schedule today, and so I'm not going to do a lot of talking, but I would speak on the subject I have been given to speak on. Just after which I would love to take questions, because I believe that the subject we are asked to discuss today it's heavily dependent on conversations, especially to drive home some points, right? So there'll be a moment for us to do question and answers, and I'm anticipating that session. Right there, there's this thing. I'm a Christian, and I do not mean to cause any issues, but there is a particular tribe. One of the wise books talks about a lot, and it's called the tribe of Issachar. And then this tribe is referred to as one of the most outstanding tribes in the wise book, and it's because of the ability to understand times and to understand seasons. When I saw the topic I was given, I just said to myself that the College Guide Africa team truly are people who we would describe as the Issachars of this time, because I've spent quite a number of time discussing, finding ways to really explain and understand specific things happening in our season. And you see that there are lots of demands, lots of expectations that is necessary, for us to fulfill. But however, it will require us a lot of diligence towards finding out, ensuring that we are preparing ourselves, for the kind of task that lies ahead of us. It's one of the reasons why I gave a lot of, attention towards my personal development, because these are the times and seasons where development is quite necessary. It's a must-have. And as we begin to delve into the subject matter that I've been given today, I think you understand better. The subject I've been given to speak a lot on today is building confidence and strategic thinking for impact. I'll take that again. The topic is building confidence. Oh, I was made the center of this. My goodness. See, how are you guys able to stand the glory of this young man on the screen. One moment, please. So building confidence and strategic thinking for impact. There are various belief systems, various thought patterns concerning the subject matter of impact. But then I define impact, and this is the understanding I've had since I began doing whatever I'm doing, right? I define impact in this case to be the impression or the effect that your life, your existence makes in that of others and in society. I'll tell you again, I need us to understand this because of where we are going to, right? I define impact once again as the impression, the effect, right, that your life, your existence on this earth makes in others and also towards society. I just want to take out like 30 seconds and allow you to sink. There are many people who are just existing and living life, but not being able to translate something into the realms or the dimensions of impact. Everyone who is built, designed by the creator, by their source, is designed with one objective, and that is to make an impact. If someone smiles, laughs, celebrates at your entrance into their lives, it means you are making impact. And the kind of impact that we are really talking about here is impact that is positive in nature, impact that is inspirational in nature, impact that is transgenerational in nature, and then impact that is also transgeographical in nature, right? These are things that I have kept at the core of my belief system since I began what I'm doing. So yes, I started in Nigeria, a small state in Nigeria, but then I had to push following specific things I'll be sharing with us today that really helped us to experience impact across region, across territories, across nations, and I'm hopeful that we'll do quite some time, right? So 2 keywords here, confidence and then strategic thinking for impact. 2 statements I think I want us to take note of, right? Confidence, number 1, and then also building strategic thinking for impact. I think I took our time last year, a lot of last year to really study something. I noticed that there are many young people who arrive at the age of 40, 30, 49, 48, and at the end of it, they are either unaware of the certain potential that they have within them or the abilities that they have been gifted with, and you see that you have people who transcend in age, but their lives are not amounting to much. That is the only thing that is advancing about them is their life, is their age. Nothing else as regards to impact, nothing else as regards to executioning. And I studied a particular book called The Lord's Generals. I don't know, I'm a Christian, so a lot of what I do and study surrounds that, right? So I did a lot of study around the book called The Lord's Generals. I noticed that there was that generation, there was that time where you would see people attend the peak of their purpose and assignment at the age of 20, 19. I mean, people were doing great stuff, touching lives, spreading influence and impact across various territories, across various places. And I was surprised, and I've been asking myself since then, what has been responsible for this increase in the gap between people who have attained much at a young age and those who haven't even attained anything at a late age? I understand there is nothing as late age per se, but if I must be sincere with you guys, I believe in the thing called speed. I believe in obtaining a lot of things on time. I believe in getting my life set up. I don't want to wait till 40. So what has been the factor responsible for such a gap in our generation? People married on time, but now people are marrying at 40, 50. People obtain great, remarkable feats on time, and now people are struggling at the age of 30 to find the footing. This is the gap I believe that my life has been called to close, right? And you see that in all of this, there has never been a challenge with the lack of ability. No. Everybody has always been aware of the fact that they have ability. So ability has never been the factor responsible for for this gap in a life of impact and a life that doesn't really amount to much. Neither has it been potentials. Every human being is embedded with potentials. Everybody listening to me on this call right now is embedded with massive potentials that are, I mean, if you were to translate those potentials to real time, you would find impact makers. So it has never been a problem of ability. It has never been a problem of potentials. I mean, people have it. Even at the moment that they are born, a child can speak. A child can think and reason. They have the potentials. They have that potential for creating impact, that potential for making a huge mark on the earth. But then what really has been lacking, and I'm telling you the truth, is being the absence of confidence. Confidence that is driven by a zeal to execute. Confidence that is driven by a pursuit to make impact. Confidence that is driven by a desire to dare. So we have too many timid people, yet fully loaded. Do you remember how God does it whenever he meets specific men? Joshua, Gideon, Jabez, Jephthah. He always points to them things that tells them, hey, be of good courage. Hey, get up, you've got it. It was never a problem of potentials, never a problem of abilities, never a problem of people around you or not people not around you. It has always been a subject of confidence. If I want to transcribe that now, I think it would be a word called courage. We have too many feeble youths in the entire space of Africa. Why? Because somehow our environment have molded us into doubting what we have on our inside, doubting the resources that God has invested into us. So I like I said last time when I was teaching here, I hate to teach things just for teaching's sake. No, we are solving a real life issues here. There are many people on this call who had plenty desires to do certain things before March, and shockingly, we are going to be touching April in a couple of days, and you haven't executed it. And you and I know the reason has never been the absence of our ability, because you have the ability. It has never been the absence of potential. You and I know that you have the ability, or you have that potential within you. But why? The fear or the lack of confidence. Take this on somebody who has been from a very, very rough place. I have been from a very rough place, a place where there was absolutely nothing working, a place where I walk into rooms and my head is down, right? So I'm going to be giving to you certain things that I believe will help you to build confidence and to build a life of impact, right? But then these are things that many of you would think doesn't work, but I'm giving to you principles that my life has practiced for 8 years. That it is possible for a human being to come from a lowly estate, a low place, an inconsequential place, and then become a person of repute. That it's possible to take up a project that you think is difficult to take up because you lack confidence, and arrive at the place where you are taking these things by force and by storm. To move from a place where there is zero demand for what you do and what services you can render to a point where you are massively in demand. So I'm dividing this session. I'm going to rush it, right? Because I want to get to the point of questions and answers so I can actually attend the next meeting I have to attend, right? So there are two things I want us to focus on. In order to build confidence to go a different route. Okay, so we are dividing our discourse today in the next 6 to 10 minutes into two sessions, right? So the first part is the knowledge factor, and then the second part is the action factor. Why? I believe that knowledge and action, and done consistently, are responsible for a life of impact and a life boosted by full-time throttled confidence. There has to be a knowledge equivalent attached to it. There has to be an action part. Confidence will not come when there is lack of knowledge. Confidence sits on the foundation of specific things that you know. are knowledgeable factors that you must have. So one of the things you want to do to build confidence as an individual is the aspect of identifying self. I think if I'm to rephrase that, it will be the word I call self-awareness. So I think I've said it before, but I grew up in an environment that didn't give room for specific kind of things. I grew up with an environment that that was I mean, there was an absence of proper mentorship, an absence of proper structuring, proper systems, right? Sorry, give me a minute.
Udah bayan nang orang media lah di pirin seri balah marana nang orang ini.
Please give me a moment. Sorry, trying to adjust a few things. Just give me a moment.
No problem.
All right, sorry. My apologies. You guys should help me beg Philami, so she doesn't come after my life, right? So so there are a couple of things I just want to stress out. So understand first that confidence is built upon two things. It is built when there is sufficient understanding of sufficient knowledge and then action attached to it, right? It is important that you cannot separate both factors. If confidence must be confident, it must be built sufficiently on the foundation of what? Of knowledge. I have never seen anybody who is intelligent, who is knowledgeable, and lacks confidence. Confidence, I mean, knowledge or wisdom, as some would say, gives glory to the face of a human being, right? It becomes the shyness, the brightness that illuminates your face, right? So the first thing to actually find out and ensure that you've built is self-awareness. Your confidence level will be punctured when there is lack of self-awareness, the understanding of what your source is. Why do I stress this? I stress this because the entirety of confidence sits on it. The moment that you are not aware of what you have. I mean, I've seen many because of the absence of key. The moment that key is introduced, they open the door with so much confidence. They know it will open because this is the key. Now that's the vehicle responsible for sustainable impact in life is a self that has been fully aware, that is, to begin from you sitting within yourself to find out who really is this guy, who really is Paul Uda. I've struggled and fought and lost friendships and lost relationships, lost opportunities because I don't want to say so much about that part, but it is a delight. It is a beautiful experience to break out of those insufficiencies. Ah, my goodness. When I'm saying this thing to you guys, I don't care where it is that you currently are right now. I don't care. I don't give a single care right now about where it is that you are, about what insufficiencies surround your life. It is important that you understand the moment you are willing and able and committed to build this thing we're talking about today. Oh God, you will sit one place and begin to receive demands for what you do. I tell you the truth because it works. Sit within yourself and find out, who am I? What is my source? The source of an entity, potential resident within that entity. My source is heavily dependent on God. I was hewn from God. I came from Him. I'm not here by accident. I understand I'm in the family I am in right now because of the divine mandate from my source. There is an error in the earth. My source saw that error still exists, and in order to solve or fix that error, he crafted a handsomely beautiful guy. He crafted someone such as Paul Uda and packaged him to this family in this earth, in this space, in this time, on this call, so that he helps to fix the issue. I'm only an extension of my source. Ah, goodness. Ah. See, when they were teaching us these things, those years, 2018, 2017, I said it's not true. It can't be true. It can't be true. This is the thing responsible for who I am. Right? I mean, I argued, but look at me, 4 years down the line, having sat, having learned, having put it into practice. Ah, my goodness. You want to find out, what is it about you? What is your source? What is your temperament like? What are your giftings? Right? What is the environment that you are currently residing in? What are the difficulties that surround you? What are the strengths that you have within you that are tailored towards fixing those issues? Self-awareness. A man who is not happy International Women's Day, but a woman who is not self-aware becomes a woman or a man who the world will trample on. Opportunities will come and will pass, and you won't be able to find. See, it's easier to find opportunities when you are self-aware. No matter how juicy a thing or an opportunity is, if you say that this opportunity is around agriculture and you want Paul to come to the farm, it will not happen. I'm too self-aware. I know I don't have any business with agriculture except doing it on the side for business sake. But that is my major area? Nope. So when you have found this yourself, when you are aware of your strength, your weaknesses, you know where to lean towards this particular strength. And that's where confidence springs from. When you have found a strength of yours and you have put that strength as your foot forward, your right foot forward towards life, you will make impact. I have been in rooms where my head is down because of shame of I'm not good with this, because of shame of, oh, maybe I took last position, because of shame of maybe I don't have what it takes to be like those guys. But right now, when I walk into a room, it takes even God to help them to tell me to keep your head one place, because my head is up. Confidence to choke, So it begins with self-awareness. The second aspect is self-identity. These are not the same thing, right? There is first awareness of self. The second thing is self-identity, which largely speaks about your beliefs. The thing that opens doors to you, the thing that does opportunities in your direction, are the kinds of or quality of belief systems that you have. The kinds of belief systems, the perceptions of your mind. Have you not seen people I don't care about anybody. Everybody are just pieces of junks. And you see them, when they get into a space, they are just alone. They assume the posture of a phlegmatic person, naturally. Why? You are unable to relate to people. You are unable to establish conversation with people. You are unable to collaborate with people. You are unable to initiate ideas. Why? Because something within you is refusing is refusing to embrace certain belief systems. That's why majority of what I do is I spend time talking to people a lot about editing your perceptions. It is natural that your environment has infused within you specific kinds of thoughts. But the evidence of growth, like I said, is not the advancement in age, but the evolution of an individual towards subscribing to better perspectives. Oh, my goodness. You guys hear that part? That thing sounded very, 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 very wise. That sounded very, very wise. My goodness. If you please allow me to just rest this. If I was on the stage now, we'll say we should do snaps to that thing I just said now. Even to say that, I don't know how to say it again because I can't remember it. But it is important that your belief systems, your ideologies, they are fixed, they are tailor-made to see if you have the desire to serve kings, your mindset, your ideologies must reflect the ideas that kings will feed from. It is important. If you are looking for a destiny, a life of impact that exceeds your space, your realm, it is important that you position in your belief systems. And you see, the moment an individual continues to evolve towards a better standard, what we term as the ideal, that individual becomes the standard himself. So people come and are looking for you. So you see, people are looking for how to have you on something. They're trying to be with you, to have you around them. It is important. Yet your heart is evil. How can you be so beautiful, yet you think that only your thought counts in a room? No. Fix the belief systems. The more your belief systems are evolved, the more it gets better, the better your experience is, because as you grow in life, so also does that growth propel things in your direction. I have never seen anybody who is so self-brand conscious that is not confident and does not end up making a life of impact. The third thing I want us to focus on is self-uniqueness. I love this one a lot. Is what we call in business your differential value, the thing that separates you from another person. So I had to add this point because there was a time in my life where my colleagues were going to medical school, they were doing well in school, they were getting this one done, they were getting that one done, but at the point in time, my life was stagnant. I wasn't making any moves. Things were not so good in my life at the time. I can't say that I was proud of who I was at the time, Things were down. And so people would always call me, your friends are in medical school, you are just sitting at home doing nothing. But you see, in those seasons where they said I was doing nothing, I was giving myself completely to finding myself. I was giving myself completely to studying leadership. I was giving myself completely to building a kind of leadership capital that I knew would be rare to find. A heart quotient and a mental quotient that I knew if the world were to ever feed from this, my mind, they would never let me go. So although it seemed as though I was stagnant at the spot, I was invested towards building. Oh, my goodness. I say it now. I say it now, and I say it with joy, guys. I say it with happiness. I know what it means to transition from not enough to more than enough. I know it, and I mean it with my heart. I mean it with my heart. Yesterday, someone called and said, this is a particular doctor called in yesterday night and asked that he wants to have me to speak for them. And so I said, 30-minute session on for the organizations per se, and I said that's fine. And he asked how much I charge. I told him and it amazes me with my whole heart that I had the confidence to call that this is somebody who they said at the time was doing way better than I am. But that's the same person saying he's going to do this, he's going to do that, he's going to fulfill this and fulfill that, just to have me at a session for 30 minutes. Being that I have been on both ends, I'm suggesting my solutions to you guys. To 20 of us who are on this call, I'm proposing a solution to you guys that you accept it. Your life will change for the better. I tell you the truth. I found my differential value that although I may not be in the medical space, but I have mastered understandings with, there is a sufficient understanding, a body of knowledge that I know that if I train somebody on, they are able to get promoted quickly at the place of work, regardless of whatever system that you are finding yourself in. I have found the ability to train and mentor people from absolute nothing into people who are of repute. I've done that for over 800 people in the past 4 years. I can trace it. Right? So I know my strengths. I understand my differences. In a room, I'm not intimidated by people who are doing the same thing I'm doing. No, when I'm in a room where everybody can do what I do, I just sit comfortably and understand that there is something that I have in addition to what I can do that they can't or they don't have. It's called your differential value. What you have that another person does not have. My goodness, have you seen me smile? My goodness. Have you heard me teach? The passion that I bring to the teaching, the insight, the depth that I bring. My goodness, these are differential questions that I have attached to me. My value. They are the things that make Paul Uddah what Paul Uddah is. I think by this year, June, we would have reached about 22,000 lives. That what I've been doing has been able to, right? My area, no matter how juicy the tech space is, I know that I need this part of my life for the world to be at a better place where it is. So I'm asking you right now, begin to jot on your jotter, on your notes, on your phone, on your pad, whatever it is that you're using right now to take notes. I want to ask you, write down 2 or 3 things that make you that put you at the edge, that make you to be advanced, that differentiates you from other people. Write it. Your ability to listen. Listening is a very scarce skill. It's a very scarce commodity. Anybody who can listen is in high demand. What is that thing that you can do that you have taken for granted, for instance, that other people cannot do or do not have? When I speak with energy. I speak from my heart. Same thing. So find out what is that thing. It's called your self-uniqueness. So I think another part of it is finding your place. When an individual has found his place, he can say that he's unique. No matter how much the tech space is evolving. I'm not a tech guy. Was asking me today about my slides. I told her, see, don't be offended. I am not a slides person, right? I'm not a slides person. I'm not, no matter how the thing comes, I cannot be a tech person. I am okay with being, we've started merging technology with all of those things, we started merging technology into this leadership space and all of that we do, but I know my area. I know my stream. I know it. I know my mountain to face. So you have to find out for yourself. When you have found it, you can be able to stand and say no to this, no to that. Right? Let me say something practical. I know I have a lot. I have a very, very, very little time left. I have a very little time. So let me just quickly rush. There is, I'm currently residing in Rwanda, and I'm schooling at the African Leadership University. And this is this is 1 year and 6 months since I came to the university, right? And by that I mean that I have no business contesting for the Student Representative Council presidential seat, because those who are my opponents, guys, are like in their 3rd year. They've been here for over 2 years. They are known by many people. They are known by a lot of people. But you see, I have in the years that I was made to learn confidence. I didn't take those years for granted. I learned confidence. I learned my self-awareness, self-identity, self-uniqueness. I learned it. And it will amaze you guys to find out today that election results were read on Monday. And this young man who has not spent up to 2 years in this university became the first Nigerian, right? The first Nigerian to ever serve as a president at this institution. So right now, I'm like what you guys will call the 001 of the students, right? And despite the fears, despite the challenges that I have faced, confidence was responsible for why we could take such a feat. So you see what I'm saying, that if you lack confidence, you will truncate a lot of progress that is to be made in your life. So you can't give room for no confidence. No, you can't give room for lack of confidence. You have to build it. So find out your self-awareness, build self-identity, build self-uniqueness. Number 4, build self-mastery. Self-mastery is control. The best of an individual is in his or her ability to control and exercise governance over herself or himself. You can't say that you have, yes, I'm very aware of myself. So pride eats you because you don't understand where to draw a boundary. Somebody steps on your feet, for instance, and you begin to scream. Do you know that you are just stepping on the Lion of the tribe of Judah? You know that you are just stepping on the president or one of these institutions. That's the difference between pride and confidence. Pride is extreme. Confidence is balance. Is to overestimate your value. No matter how confident you are, don't be so confident you are blind to people. Don't be so confident you are blind to being able to read the room. Don't be so confident that you are blind to seeing people's pain points. Oh, I lost my brother and I couldn't come up for this meeting. And because you are so confident in quote, you say that doesn't mean losses happen every time. Move. My goodness, who sent you? Right? Be confident enough that you are humble. Be confident enough that you are simple. You are approachable. Then the last thing is self-worth. Self-worth is a summation of all this: self-awareness, self-identity, self-uniqueness, self-mastery. A person who has known all four, practiced all four, evolves to the person who is self-worth filled. You are self-worth conscious. I don't have self-worth. I don't have self-worth. Those are the things to look out for. How aware are you of your strengths and weaknesses? How aware are you of the environment that you can thrive in and the environment you cannot thrive in? No matter how very ambitious man is, man cannot breathe underwater, except he has to outsource the use of all those oxygen tanks and all of those things. So understand your environment. Be aware of it. Find a strong belief system. Build sharp-cut perceptions. Find self-uniqueness. Master yourself, and then you build self-worth. And lastly, remember I told you about dividing the session into two. The first part is the knowledge part, and this is the second part, which we call the action part. I'll be done with this in 3 minutes, right? I feel like I've been speed talking for a long time. Meanwhile, I think I want us to appreciate Felua and Fe for the opportunity to be here. This is the first engagement I've had in almost 4 or 5 months. Yeah, this is the first time I'm teaching, because I stopped teaching for a long time. I just wanted to rest and refresh, right? So thank you so much for breaking the siege. So the action point. Remember I said that confidence rests on two things. Confidence rests on knowledge, and confidence rests on action. How do you take action? Number one, let me say this. Let me read what I wrote on my note. The confidence of any individual is dependent on 3 factors. 3 factors. The first is the need or demand for what they do. I'll take it again. The confidence of an individual is heavily dependent on okay. So when you have massive need for what you do, it boosts your confidence. There are many people who lack confidence because people are not demanding. It's like going to the market and buying certain things and just wanting to do business buying and selling, but nobody is demanding for your service. So confidence is weightily seen when there is a need and a demand for what you do. Number 2, confidence is seen at its peak when your proficiency, that is your proficiency is exact. It is outstanding. It means that if I'm called a leadership teacher, for instance, my demand is also tied towards my ability, the proficiency, the excellence that is attached to my value. You cannot say that you are offering a particular value and that value does not transit, as in it's not done in excellence. Every human being will stop, no matter what price you peg your thing at, they will stop to buy from you because you've attached the value of the aspect of excellence to your gifting. So it's not enough to just do things. You must package your value so well. You must package your value so well. We have people on this call right now because the organization, for instance, has been able to package this value such a way that people they are going to be taking a lot of thoughts from this session. They're going to be growing a lot from this session. So first, I said the need for what you do. Find a way to find a value, a skill that responds to the needs of people. Be so good and be so competent and proficient at that service rendering that it is highly. Thing is that in all you're doing, for them to replace you. If you are easily replaced, so I don't know if that's okay with you. I'm waiting for the host to say something, but I'm done.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. So thank you so much for joining us today. I don't know if anyone else has any more questions. I'm really sorry. I got logged out at the end and I was about to join back in, but I heard everything up until the Q&A session. That was where I got logged out. Thank you so much. I know they are really busy today, and I'm sure that everyone on this call has learned something today. So what we like to do at the end is that the facilitators for the past 2 weeks now have been giving assignments to people. So I don't know if you have any task that you would like them to do, and then they could just, and then we can now send them the instructions of what you would like them to do. So is there any one final task you would like them to take away basically from today's session for them to practicalize?
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So basically, if for those of us who are on the call, you've noticed that every point I've given to you is legit a task. It means that you go find it, you take out time to introspect, and then find it. When you arrive at the answers, if you are able to arrive at these answers in 1 month, I give you only a year and 6 months, you will begin to produce sufficient results, even better than myself and the host of this event. And that's my prayer, that's my job, that's my hope. And that I hope that it works out like we've talked about it, right? Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Alda. God bless you. And congratulations once again. I'm excited to hear that you are going to be the first Nigerian for the Student Council. Congratulations once again. And thank you for making the time out to join us today. I see a question before you leave. Someone has a question. If you could take one more question before you go. Jackton says, my question is that can someone identify which type of leader he or she is and how? Just one more question.
All right. So, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, when you have found out what your strengths are, your weaknesses are, what your passion is, what you hate, I never always leave that one out. It's not enough to know what you're passionate about. It's important to know how much you hate a thing, right? So from someone like me, I hate leaders who use people. I hate it with a passion. I hate leaders who take the job carelessly. So when you put and piece all these things together, you find that I am a transformational leader, right? I love to leave people better than I met them. That's transformation. I love to be involved in people's lives. I love to serve. That means servant leadership. So you've got to find out. I mean, I can also be charismatic, anyways. The energy, my temperament is largely choleric, so it comes with a lot of charismatic things on it. So, so how do you find yourself? You cannot begin to find servant leadership where you have not found who you are first, at least to find out what it is that is your strength. So answer first to yourself. Can you really pursue a course that is not you centered? If that is your answer, most likely you are a servant leader, right? So ask yourself specific questions. And number two, I propose that you read books. Find books on leadership by John Maxwell. Find books on leadership by Dr. Miles Monroe. Find The Purpose-Driven Life by Pastor Rick Warren. Find Why You Act the Way You Do by Tim LaHaye. Find Spirit Controlled Temperament by Tim LaHaye, right? I mean, they are different. Find the book, The Starting Point to Global Leadership by Paul Uda. Are you thinking I will mention my book? Are you joking? Find that one too, right? So the moment you find these things and you sit and you ask questions, it took me like 6 months to introspect, to cross T's and check again, then asking people around me, what do you guys think of me? What do you guys think about? And you arrive at the answer, right? I feel like I need more questions, but it's fine. So that's how you do it. Yes, you can identify the kind of leader that you are, and that's how you find it by reading books. You find it by staying in the midst of people who are going forward, who are thinking in like patterns like you are, and that does the work.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Uda. I know you have to go now. I would really like to thank you on behalf of College Guide Africa for joining us today. I know that a lot of people have been inspired by today's session, and this is going to be recorded, so I know that they'll be able to always go back and listen over and over again. Thank you so much, and God bless you, and congratulations once again. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I can leave, right? I can quickly run out.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, everyone, for joining today. Today's session is faster just because Mr. Uda has another engagement that he really needs to be part of. So actually, today's assignment will basically just be to summarize what you've learned today. And it will be put on Google Classroom. And there's a sort of quiz would also give you. So a quiz for you to kind of see what kind of leader are you. So that's what the quiz is going to be. So you're just going to attach. Sorry, can you guys hear me? Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So I was saying that today's assignment, the first step is to summarize what you have learned today. And then it will be put on Google Classroom for everyone to submit. And the second part is we're going to send you a quiz for you to do a quiz on what kind of leader are you. So are you a transformational leader? Are you a servant leader? And that is going to be uploaded for everyone. So thank you so much for joining. Another thing I want to find out from everyone, our speaker for next week, he has indicated that he's not going to be available at the usual time we do it. He's going to come in later. So I want to confirm if this timing would work for everyone. I will put a poll on the group chat for people to signify if the new time for next week would work. So instead of having our meetings in the afternoons, it may take place in the evening next week, but I'm going to put out a poll with the different time zones just to confirm that this would work for us, because I want to make sure next week's session is going to be on communication, written communication, verbal communication, how to communicate, and how that would help you to develop yourself. But because our speaker is not going to be able to join us at the usual time, we may have to push the session to later into the day. So I'm going to put out a poll before Monday, just so that we can find out if that would work for us. But the assignments will be posted by the end of today. The first part of the assignment is you must do a summary of today's session. So I'm sure everyone has been taking notes, what you've learned today. Then the second part of the assignment is that there's going to be a quiz for you to do. And the quiz basically is for you to see what kind of leader you are. Also, we have selected the people who have filled out the form from last week, which was part of last week's assignment. And basically, you're going to be put into groups based on the form. If you haven't done that yet, I will put it on the group chat again. So make sure that you fill out that form so that you can be put into a group. So the purpose of these groups is that it's a form of networking, get to know yourselves within these groups. And then during the final project we're going to be having at the end of the 8-week program, that's going to be another integral part of the program. So you need to get to know yourselves, and also you can encourage one another, get to connect, see where everyone is coming from, what you have in similar interests with each other, and that's going to help you. So before we close and conclude, we're leaving earlier today. Does anyone have any questions before we end? If you have any question, you could raise up your hand or type in the chat room before we conclude. Do we have any questions? Okay, so if we don't have any questions, I would like to thank you all for joining today. The assignments will be sent by the end of today. So the first part is summarize what you've learned today and what you're going to be doing, what is your takeaway from today's session. And the second part is you're going to fill out do a form and you need to show your results. What kind of leader are you? So thank you so much, everyone, and do enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye. See you next week.